Stick and poke tattooing is tattooing without a machine. By today's standards, regular tattoos use machines, and stick and poking is doing it without that, basically. So it's very tedious, but it's a more distinct style. But the type I do is what is described mainly on Instagram as ignorant style, which is the idea that, you know, it's just DIY, a bit more sort of punk, I guess. It's like people doing it in the kitchens, in the bedroom, stuff like that. A little bit more dirty, a little bit more grimy. Kind of like the refusal to get better at something, I suppose, and just have, you know, your own distinct style in something. I find it quite hard to attach myself to things, especially something that I've got to learn, you know, from the start, like from the basis of it, like something I know nothing about. Obviously, I wouldn't consider myself an artist by any means. I mean, my drawings aren't good, my handwriting's terrible, but that kind of lends itself well to the whole ignorant style, and people tend to like that. Like, people want my terrible handwriting on them, which I think is quite interesting, and that, you know, is kind of baffling to me. But I suppose that in itself is a distinct style. Like, no one has my terrible handwriting, you know? So, I mean, if they want that on them, then I'm very game to do that, obviously.
Yeah? There.
Probably higher up there,
yeah.
so it's less ravage.
Yeah, man, fuck with that.
Yeah, see, I'm cool with that, like.
Definitely.
So, for some people, the idea of getting a tattoo in someone's house or tattooing from your house, you can't be hygienic. You know, that's what they say, but I think that's, again, just a way of almost like gatekeeping, you know, like saying, like, you can't be part of this because you haven't done exactly what I've done or the exact same process or ritual or whatever, which I think is fucking stupid to, you know, to adopt that attitude. Just because someone is potentially on the way to achieving what you've already achieved, but doing it a different way, doesn't mean it's wrong. I think what interested me the most is if you teach yourself to do something, I think you teach yourself a very specific way to do it and a very specific style. Whereas if I learned under the wing of someone else and they, you know, did like kind of specific tattoos, I would just by proxy end up doing exactly what they did. So this way, I guess, I'm bypassing all of that shit and I'm just doing it myself.
The one I didn't like and I love now when it's as single as the
The less I know, the better.
Yeah. I hated that first.
Oh shit, sorry.
I was
Start down there.
On one of my Instagram posts, someone started to flame me, like saying I should stop doing what I'm doing, that it's immoral, and there's no way I can do it hygienically from my own house. She also said that I'm like essentially spitting on the traditional, no, I think she said the sacred tradition of tattooing, which I think is funny because obviously, like, original tattoos, like thousands of years ago, were done with, you know, stick and poke, essentially, like with actual sticks probably, and then ink made from, I don't know, like God knows what. So I'm not sure what sacred tradition she's talking about. Yeah, that was quite funny. When I started doing it, I had literally no aims or objectives at all. It was just something at that moment that needed to fill some kind of creative void that I had, because I was going through a very strange time coming off medication, going on medication. So, I mean, I didn't know where the fuck I was, you know, like creatively, really. And this is something I've always wanted to do. And with me, I always struggle to get into things, especially things I want to do, I find really hard to do. So ideally, I would like to create a job for myself out of this. I mean, that's probably not something that could happen, you know, anytime soon, but this isn't the main, you know, the main thing that's motivating me. But I do want to eventually gain, you know, some kind of income from this. That would be, you know, great, to be my own boss, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was not going to hurt more out like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it'll look cool, hopefully.
I really like this already, by the way.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much. It does actually look pretty cool. It looks good with the this abstract little guy here, like an abstract Bart Simpson or something.
Jean-Michel Basquiat.
I don't recognise it, mate, sorry.
Yeah, man.
I've had really bad mental health for like quite a few years now, and this is the only thing I've found really that I can just totally like throw myself in and just totally get invested in it. I mean, I do obviously study filmmaking, make films, but that isn't really something you can do all the time. Whereas with tattooing, I can, draw something up. Someone will get in touch, and then I can, from there, like, just do it straight on them, and then I guess get talking to them as well. Like, I love meeting weirdos. And the majority of people that get tattooed by me are quite strange and pretty weird. I guess maybe I like attract that because I'm pretty weird myself. So, but I really do enjoy that, and it is really kind of cathartic for me because, like I said, obviously with having poor mental health comes lack of motivation and all the rest of it. But this is something that like kind of really sort of grounds me and something I'm really passionate about. And every single one of them was brutal.
Yeah.
Like the rose on my chest.
Was there a gun or stick and fork?
They're all machine or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I got the rose, like I was just seconds away from passing out when I stood up. It just fucking never-ending pain. It feels like it's getting done with like a scalpel.
I hate.
It's not good.
I don't like getting tattooed sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, this is just fucking like.
It's not even that bad, is it?
It's like chill, but.